Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my 2014 NFL free agent rankings, and this is for who I see as the top 10 defensive ends available in the 2014 class. Certainly a talented list this year of defensive ends. We start at number 10 with Anthony Spencer, who was injured last year for the Dallas Cowboys, did have 11 sacks in 2012. He's a guy who's been inconsistent. And I think the worry with him is if he gets the big deal, how does he respond on the field, especially coming off an injury? But you can't really question his talent. A little hard to believe he's 30 years old already, at the time next season starts. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But Anthony Spencer at number 10. At number 9, I have Antonio Smith, last year of the Houston Texans. And he's a guy who's 33 years old beginning of next year. But Smith is a guy, make no mistake about it, that can still rush the passer. And I think he's a very good compliment for J.J. Watt, a guy the Texans, I think, would be interested in bringing back, at a reasonable deal. If not, he's a guy I think will be scooped up pretty quickly again because of his prowess being able to rush the passer from one of those 3-4 defensive end spots. In number 8, I have Willie Young, who played last year for the Detroit Lions. He'll be 28 at the start of next season. Willie Young, not a very accomplished pass rusher. He's average in that respect. Better than you think against the run. Not every defensive end needs to be a pin your ears back, sack the quarterback kind of guy. There is still room for a guy like Young, who may be a little bit of a better run defender, but can also get after the passer at times. So Willie Young in at number 8. Number 7, I have Justin Tuck. Justin Tuck, we all know Justin Tuck has played his whole career with the Giants here. 31 years old at the beginning of next year. Tuck is a guy that seems like he's been around for even longer, but he is on the other side of 30. He had a very good season last year, all right, a better season than he's had in the last couple. It'll be interesting to see if a team gives a guy like Tuck, who obviously has the production, obviously has played well in Super Bowls, but coming off a good season last year, but again, not so good the years before. Is he going to get that big money contract? Does he return to the Giants? Some big questions that will be answered this offseason, but I have Justin Tuck in at number 7. In at number 6, I have Jared Allen. And Jared Allen, over the past 7 or 8 years, has been one of, if not the best, sack artist from the defensive end position in the NFL. He is on the other side of 30 now. He's 32 years old. The injuries have cropped up a little more in the recent past. But, make no mistake about it, I think he's a guy that can still be very effective rushing the passer. Will a team give him a lucrative deal? Will they be less apt to do that? It remains to be seen. But I still think Jared Allen has at least a couple good years left here at 32 as a defensive end that is probably, career-wise, the most accomplished guy on this list. And at number 5, I have Lamarr Houton of the Oakland Raiders last season. And Houston's going to be 27 at the start of next year. So that's definitely a feather in his cap there. You add to that, he's a pretty good pass rusher, but he's even a better run defender. And again, one of these dual threat guys that I think is even a little bit better of a pass rusher than a guy like Willie Young, and a guy that the Raiders should look long and hard at bringing back. But Lamarr Houton's going to get a decent amount of money. So we'll see which team is willing to pony up that money to get Lamarr Houton in the fold. Houton at number 5. And at number 4, I have Michael Johnson. And Michael Johnson had a strong 2012. Last year, 2013, only 3.5 sacks. A guy, again, all around, well-rounded player. I think he's a guy who has a very high ceiling rushing the passer. And, we'll see what GMs around the league make of the fact that he only had those 3.5 sacks last year. Was there more attention paid to him, especially when Geno Atkins went down? What do they see on the tape? Do they see a guy that was given his best, maybe was just double-teamed a little more than he ever had been, or what? And I think we'll find that out here during free agency. But I have Michael Johnson in at number 4. In at number 3, I have Michael Bennett. And Michael Bennett, to his credit, took a 1-year prove-me contract from the Seattle Seahawks, and he delivered handsomely. 8.5 sacks, was a part of some very big plays here for the Seahawks during their run here to the Super Bowl, and he's going to get paid handsomely. And, the brother of Martellus Bennett deserves it, quite frankly. And, you look at Tampa Bay, just letting him walk out the door, him signing a 1-year, $5 million deal with the Seahawks and what he's meant to them. Michael Bennett going to get rewarded here with a big deal in free agency. At number 2, I have Brian Orakpo, and I know Orakpo is a defensive end outside linebacker sort of hybrid, but I have him at number 2 because he can rush the passer. He's pretty good against the run, and let's not forget, if he needs to, I think he's very underrated in coverage even as well. So because of his overall versatility and the fact that I think he's an above-average pass rusher, he comes in at number 2, and the writing's pretty much on the wall. Odds are he gets franchised here in Washington, in my eyes. But Orakpo in at number 2. And at number 1, I think everyone's number 1, maybe one of the top free agents available in general this offseason is Greg Hardy of the Carolina Panthers last year. He'll be 26 at the start of next season. The unique thing about Hardy is he had the top-end sack numbers, 15 sacks on the year, and he was a stud in run defense. Usually when guys have that high of a sack number, more than 13 or 14, they leave themselves vulnerable against the run, not Hardy. And we'll see if he's franchised. We'll see if he's given the big deal by Carolina or if he goes to another team. But Greg Hardy, to me, no doubt the number 1 guy on this list here. Guys, a lot of good free agent defensive ends available. Do you see them as a fit for your team? Did I miss anyone on this list? Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, guys. I'm doing a list like this for every position, so be sure to check that out. Thanks as always for listening. Have a great night.